Hi everybody, this is Monica Main, and I have a lot of exciting stuff to bring to you today, including how you can build out an entire profitable business from scratch in just a few minutes. In fact, I'm actually going to do a live demo to show you exactly how easy it is to build out this profitable business, even if you don't know a lot about tech, don't want to know anything about tech, and just want to have something that can bring in a nice income for you, okay? So I have a lot to cover in a short period of time, so let's get to crack-a-lackin' on this. So what is a side home-based business, a side hustle home-based business? Well, for you, it's an incredible opportunity to kind of get ahead of the curve because there's a lot of stuff happening in the economy right now, which I'm going to explain to you as I go along and why this particular business is going to be so profitable for you. And it's because so many things are shifting and changing in the economy. Even if it seems like on face value, not a lot of stuff is going on. It's just status quo. Things seem to be ticking along. But I have some surprising news for you, and that is, my prediction is this time next year is going to look a lot different economically than it does right now. So the cool thing is, if you set everything up now and start getting involved in this particular kind of business, it's a specialty kind of business, and if you start doing it right now, then you're going to be ahead of the curve and you're going to be able to take maximum advantage of this profit opportunity, even if you have literally no tech skills whatsoever, don't want to have any employees, don't want to have your traditional typical business that has a lot of overhead and a lot of problems, customer service, refunds, all that stuff. You don't want to be in any other kind of business right now. Trust me, I've been in every kind of business you can possibly think of, and your typical traditional business sucks, okay? But this is an awesome, what I call a kitchen table business, a KTB business, where you can literally set your own hours and make as much money as humanly possible. So let's talk about what's changed specifically with internet and online marketing. So let's talk about the new rules. And that is, if you're going to be selling any kind of affiliate marketing product or service, as you know, you're only going to be getting a percentage of that product or service sale, which means that it's really not a viable or profitable means of making money online anymore because of the cost of advertising. So if you're going to be doing Facebook ads or YouTube video ads or any kind of pay-per-click ads, it's going to cost you a lot more money than it did even a handful of years ago. And so if you're selling something for, say, a couple $100 and your affiliate commission is 50%, that's $100, and you're really not going to be able to make enough money to be able to cover your advertising costs. So many times you're going to find yourself in the hole. You don't want to also be in the physical shipped product or service business. Well, I guess you wouldn't really technically ship a service, but you don't want to be in the product business. And that goes with Amazon products. It goes with selling anything online, anywhere, even home study courses or any home study books or books at all, or pretty much any product at all. You simply do not want to be in that business at all. There's just too much competition, and the cost of printing and shipping has gone up sky high. There's just no profit margins anymore. You also don't want to be in what we call the low to high ticket model, the funnel model, because it's no longer profitable due to the fact that fewer and fewer people are buying into the $7 or the free with shipping book offers, due to the fact that they don't want to be baited into all of these different litany of upsells. And so they just skip it and they say, well, this looks really interesting, but I'm just not interested in going through and spending $7 on the front end. And at the end of the funnel, and when I'm looking at my receipt, I'm like several $100s into this thing, and I don't want to go through that. So they just don't do it anymore. So those don't really work anymore. And then, of course, your traditional webinar funnel is also completely obsolete, especially if it runs for more than 30 to 45 minutes long. Now, I've noticed in my own testing that there's certain kinds of products or home-based business opportunities that still work and still sell, like, say, for example, a $2,000 course will sell with, say, a 90-minute webinar. But it's far and few between, and you really have to have a really niche down kind of opportunity for people to go with a 90-minute webinar and to want to actually watch the whole thing and then buy the $2,000 thing at the end. People are also kind of getting weary of those kinds of opportunities as well. So here's what's working like crazy, and of course what's not, which is both equally important. So online courses are bigger than ever, and that is when people can go in, watch some videos, do some things, follow some steps, and start to see results. And so those are bigger than ever. They're not going to go away anytime soon that I have noticed. And so that is going to be your high profit point in focusing in on selling online courses. Coaching, especially what we call done for you. So one-on-one services. So think in terms of this. It's like, okay, if you're a business owner, say for example, you already have a mildly successful online company, the last thing that you're going to want to do is do it yourself. Okay. So case in point, I spent a lot of money with this one guy. His name was Alaric Heck, and he sold a course on how to create successful YouTube videos. Not for organic content, but to sell things. And so I learned a lot from the course, but at the end of the day, I kept asking myself, like, why doesn't this guy have like an agency business where I could just hire him and his team to run these ads for me? And so he literally missed the boat. And here we are all these years later, and I'm starting to see that he's trying to get into that business, but it's a day late and a dollar short for him. So he was a big time earner, kept getting the $10 million award every single year at ClickFunnels because of the amount of money he made on his $10,000 courses. Actually, I think I paid a lot more by the time I ended up in his inner circle. But he ran out of gas because, you know, an agency business gives you income every single month. And, you know, when you're just selling an online course once, it just gives you the income once, right? And so anytime you can be in the continuity done for you business, offering a service to somebody who either doesn't know how to do it or doesn't feel like they're competent enough to do it or just simply doesn't have the time to do it, this is bigger than ever, especially since nobody wants to do any services. Finding labor is so ridiculously difficult in today's day and age because everybody is so freaking lazy. And so if you want to do anything that has even a remote tiny bit of labor, you'll be able to dominate and make tons of money hand over fist, especially with this kind of business that I'm going to be sharing with you shortly. Mid to high ticket products and services must be what you focus on. That is your focal point moving forward. So mid high ticket is $997 to $2,997, and then high ticket is over like $3,000. So basically that is where your price points need to be if you're going to survive, and not just survive, but thrive moving forward in our what I call new economy. Okay, so you want to focus in on these kinds of products and services where you have these price points and these kinds of either an online course or some kind of done for you service. So the key to making these kinds of higher ticket sales is obviously getting traffic in, and then offering a book. Like, for example, I offer a free credit book for my credit stuff that does really, really well, which I'm going to be talking a little bit later about, and how you can maybe even piggyback off of me if you're interested, because it is my most successful product that I have out there. And so, for example, you drive your traffic in. This is kind of like what my funnel looks like. Page 1 is asking for name and email. Sometimes I ask for a cell phone number, sometimes I don't. In many cases, I don't want to scare people off, so I just don't. But you can always throw that in there. And then, of course, giving them a free bait, which in my case is the free credit book. And then page 2 is a very short video, 10 to 15 minutes, and it talks about the service and how you can help them. And then it drives them to book a call. And then this is when the high ticket sales process begins. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road here, because after they opt in, and if you get their cell phone number, you can have an installed sales rep make outbound calls to the prospect. However, you'd have to skip this part, obviously, if you don't ask for their phone number. So it's completely up to you on how you want to do it. But obviously, when they book a call, going through the funnel, and they end up at the very end, which I'm going to talk more about how this works, then you have the opportunity, obviously, to have their cell phone number. You can always follow up and so forth. So let's talk more about that as we go on. But this is the basic funnel model that I use, and it's my most successful funnel model that I have right now. So here's the beauty of this. You could start the ultimate high ticket side hustle service business without doing any tech or performing any of these services yourself. And what I'm about to share with you will absolutely blow your mind. And here is how. So what if I told you that you can have a business online that you don't have to create a product for because it's already done. You don't have to set it up because we'll do it for you. You could charge as little or as much as you want. You could literally choose the number that you want to charge. And you could be flexible. Like, for example, if somebody doesn't have the money or they want to do a payment plan or whatever the case may be, you have flexibility in that you can basically set whatever price point you want. And then you can get this is the most important part, folks. I mean, I want you to write this down. You want to be able to get continuity income, because when you go through hard times with your business, and I wish I would have known this a long time ago, by the way, which when you go through more challenging times of your business, or maybe you want to take a break, like the holidays are coming up or during summer vacation or whatever, you don't want to work that much. So you can do something called continuity, where you have money coming in every single month, regardless of whether or not you're actually grinding out, the work or not. And so this is really cool in that you can actually gain this kind of continuity income with this business that I'm about to outline with you. So the more money, you can make actually more money when the economy does worse. Like, for example, we work in the credit space, which means that when people are having a hard time, it's usually because of economic demise. And it usually has everything to do with their credit. And so this is when people are much more desperate and they're willing to pay big fees to get some help, especially business owners like myself who, would love to be able to gain access to additional capital to be able to continue moving forward with the business or to expand or to buy up other businesses that are failing because you can get them for pennies on the dollar. And so you'll be able to be a credit consultant where you'll be able to help people, whether it's on the consumer side or the business side or a little bit of both, to be able to gain access to the kinds of credit that they're looking for to ultimately build wealth. So again, you'll make more money when the economy goes into the toilet. So the most powerful business right now has to do with helping people get money, especially if you're a business owner. So particularly you want to focus on business owners and entrepreneurs. You could focus on other people if you'd like, because as you know, the credit pool of like everybody else outside of entrepreneurship is really wide. Of course, when you're focusing in on business owners and entrepreneurs, it obviously narrows down that field. So you can focus on regular consumers and business owners as well to be able to get maximum profits. And so here's a case study. His name is Andrew, and he has these ads. You've probably seen them all over YouTube. I don't think they run on Facebook. I've never seen them on Facebook, but they're on YouTube, and he has different variations of this. And so basically what he does is he focuses in on small business owners or people who want to become an entrepreneur. There's a lot of people out there who are like, my job sucks, or they're downsizing, or they're laying people off right now. I'm kind of worried. Maybe now is a really good time for me to start my business. I just don't have the capital. Or maybe they want to buy a little small franchise, like, carpet cleaning franchise or something, and they just don't have the money. And so this opportunity will allow them to be able to gain access to that money. And so he basically runs these really cheesy, by cheesy, I don't mean any disrespect. What I'm trying to say is if you actually watch the videos, he's standing on the top of a building. It's windy outside, and you can see the whole camera like jiggling and moving. And that was actually one of his most successful campaigns that he did, was with that video, that cheesy video. It's like the cheesier, the dumber look in the videos, it seems like the more they make, that the more slick they are, the less they seem to do as far as success-wise. And so he basically drives traffic to a plain opt-in page to capture people's name, email, and phone number. And when the prospects get to page 2, that's when they see even a cheesier video of a short pitch, which is about 10 minutes long, talking about the opportunity, and then he just drives people to book a call. And that's basically the whole funnel. This is probably the most successful funnel structure there is right now. So I've been in the online marketing space, well, I want to say since the beginning of time, but seriously, since probably when I became part of the ClickFunnels and Russell Brunson world, which was about 2015. So it was about a year after he launched ClickFunnels. And so I've been part of it on a serious level since then, even though I did Google ads and all that other good stuff and really launched a highly successful, highly profitable online business in 2008. And the reason I remember that is because it was the year my daughter was born. And so I've been in this game for a long time, seen everything come and go. And I know what works and I know what doesn't work. So if you're looking for a business that you can do online part-time, that's not going to take a lot of time away from your family or even your current job or business, or something that's going to be stressful or something that's going to be difficult to do, this is your business, because this is going to become more and more in demand as time goes on, because people need money, people need credit, people want to not only be able to get ahead financially, but they also want to be able to take advantage of opportunities that become available when the economy goes to hell in a handbasket. Like, for example, you can take advantage of foreclosures, get properties for pennies on the dollar, be able to take advantage of stocks that are really low that you can get a deal on. They're like, you buy businesses that are going belly up but still have value to them because they're just being mismanaged or they're undercapitalized. So there's a lot of opportunity to be had when the economy starts to tank. And so you need money, though, for those opportunities. And so this is where you come in. You are going to be the money facilitator to help people get the funds that they need to be successful building wealth. So on the call, the prospect is sold a high-ticket package that helps them get funding for their business, real estate investments, etc. If the prospect cannot afford or doesn't want to pay for the high-ticket product, you can then downsell them in a lower-ticket product. And so you're probably thinking, well, how much is this Andrew guy with these cheesy videos and his cheesy pitches, how much is he doing as far as money? He's doing over $250,000 a month with his own version of his funding on demand. Yes, $250,000 a month, and that's cash in his pocket with these cheesy ass videos. So it just goes to show you that you can make as much money or as little money as you want. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't know if I want to, make $250,000 a month. It seems like that's just a lot of hassle. What about 10% of that? I mean, $25,000 a month. I mean, that's reasonable. I mean, maybe just a couple extra $1,000 a month that you want to make with this business. It's completely up to you on how much or how little you want to make. You can literally choose your own destiny as far as financially what this business goes. So even better, when people are in a desperate need of money, they will come to you, and you can literally make a killing in this business because psychologically, a lot of the obstacles for making the sale are gone. Like, people like to think about stuff a lot. People are like, oh, I'll think about it, or I'll talk to my wife, or I'll talk to my, therapist, or I'll talk to and then they just wait and drag their feet, and then they never sign up, right? However, when people are in desperation, a state of desperation, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally, and they know that they just need to pull the trigger now because maybe their whole life is financially going up in flames and they need to do something about it like yesterday, then they will make a quick decision like that without a lot of obstacles to be had. The only obstacle that you'll have to deal with potentially is the financial obstacle, and there's ways to get around that by offering lower ticket products and services, okay? So there really is no obstacle unless they are like homeless and living on a side of the road and they literally have nothing. That might be the only obstacle. Otherwise, all the other typical sales objections completely go out the window when it comes to credit and money, I've noticed. And I've been in the credit business since the 90s. And I'll be the first to tell you that this is the most profitable business that I've been part of, is dealing anything to do with unsecured credit and cash is what people are looking for, and especially during economic demise. So here's how this is going to be possible for you. This is kind of like what your funnels are going to look like. So you might run some YouTube videos and you'd have traffic going to a funnel. You can then offer a Credit Millionaire book. So I have a Credit Millionaire book by Bill Harris. And you would be able to get that to them in exchange for their email and their name and email address. And then page 2 is about a 10-15-minute video talking about how to get unsecured cash specifically to build wealth, because you do want to get rid of the people that are there just to be able to game the system, or the people that are what I call the lower echelon bottom feeders that just basically want to get free money. They don't ever want to pay it back, or people that just don't have any entrepreneur interest or interest in building wealth. This video will get rid of those people, which is a good thing because you don't want those people as clients because they can't pay and they're not going to be serious and they're going to be the biggest pains in the asses of your life. So you don't want those people anyway. So this video in particular gets rid of all of those tire kickers and only rises the best, the creme de la creme, as they call it, to the top. And those are the people that you want. And then they will book a call with you, and then you can offer a $10,000 service to help them get a handful of what we call key secret places to apply for unsecured loans and credit with a specific credit stack attack strategy that we use. And you'll be fully trained on exactly how this business works and what you'll be offering to these people. So if they don't buy or they don't have the money, you can then downsell them a $1,000 to $2,000 do-it-yourself group, which is a group that you'll have access to that we will basically give to you that's already set up. You don't have to pay us another dime for it. You basically just put them into that group after you collect the money from them. So again, you need to collect the money from them first, and then you can get a special secret link. We'll have a special secret link that changes every single month that you would be able to give them access to go into the group. You would basically enroll them, or you give them the link to enroll themselves after they pay you. Again, they must pay you first, and then they can do it themselves and they can set everything up themselves. So this is essentially how it works. Now you're probably thinking, well, Monica, I don't know if I'm tech savvy enough to be able to put this together. I don't know if I could even do these sales calls. Well, the good news is I have something incredible lined up for you to show you exactly how easy it is to do these sales calls, because guess what? I'm going to show you a way that you don't have to do the sales calls yourself at all. But before we even get too far ahead of ourselves, I'd like to demonstrate to you exactly how easy it is to set up your complete business. In fact, I'm going to show you in just a few minutes how easy it is to set everything up from scratch. So let's do this, right? All right. Okay, so right now I'm in one of my students' ClickFunnels account. and I had logged into all of his accounts that I need to use for this particular demonstration. So everything's logged into. And the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give him my clone. So I'm going to go ahead and give him my clone. And this is a clone that you'll be able to have access to as well. And so we're going to go ahead and add this to the funnel, which is going to take a few minutes, all right? So we're going to wait until it's going to load in. You can see that there's a little progress bar. It's loading in right now. And in the interim, what I'd like to do is while this is loading in, I want to do something called domain work, okay? So the domain work is something that I go into GoDaddy. I'm already logged into as a GoDaddy account, and I'm already logged into his Cloudflare and his Calendly accounts. These are all accounts you're going to need to be able to do this with. And you want to have everything open all at once and logged into all at once. And so what I'm going to do is choose the domain that he wanted to use for this particular offer. So it's called creditcardriches.com, which is an amazing domain that I picked out for him. So he got it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to start the process of doing what we call domain work. So on the left-hand side, you'll see right here, it says domain. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. It's like the second one down. And we're going to start working with the DNS. So as you can see under domain here, over to the far right, you can see it says manage DNS. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And then this is the part we're going to do with the Cloudflare. This is what we call domain work. So as you can see right here, there's several little things here, little tabs. I want to look for the name server one right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and click change name servers. And I'll use my own name servers. Okay. And then I'm going to hop over here. Well, this is what I probably should have done. I probably should have just basically copied this. Now I'm going to go ahead and change this, okay? I'm going to use my own name servers, and then I'm going to go over to Cloudflare. I'm going to add a site. So see where it says add a site on the right-hand side, the blue button. I'm going to go ahead and paste this from GoDaddy. We're going to go continue. And then I'm going to get the free one here. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you see free and then continue so that you don't have to pay for Cloudflare. It's free, okay? And then it's going to scan the DNS records through the GoDaddy system. So that's going to take a second. And so basically it says this is where all of the DNS records are. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything that's already there because we're going to put our own in there. We don't want their stuff, all right? So we're going to get rid of all of this. Then I'm going to add two records. They're both CNAME records. The first one is at target.clickfunnels.com, and I'm going to turn the proxy off on this first one. Save. Then I'm going to add one more CNAME record, and then we're going to do www and then an @ save. And then if I did this right, the two parts that I did the @ will turn it into the domain itself, okay? So I did this correct. I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then here's the name service that I need to add to GoDaddy. So we're going to copy the first one. We're going to go back to GoDaddy and paste. And then we're going to copy the second one and then paste. And then I'm going to go ahead and save. And then if I refresh this page, you'll notice that the name servers will change. Okay, here they are. These are the ones, okay? So I'm going to go back to Cloudflare, and I'm going to go ahead and say check name servers now. It usually takes a few hours for that to happen. Then we're going to go ahead and continue. We're going to click on all these blue buttons. Get started, save, don't change anything. Just keep following the blue brick road, as I call it, and finish. And you're basically done with the domain work. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the domain again over here, just copy it to make sure I'm not misspelling anything. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to ClickFunnels. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the funnel and change the name of this in the funnel. So I'm going to go ahead and go settings in the upper right hand corner. And then I'm going to change this to, and I like to put the name of the domain in there, okay, just to make it clear. We need to add the domain to his ClickFunnels system. So I already did that. So I'm going to go in the upper right-hand corner under Account Settings. And then on the lower left-hand side, you're going to notice Domain. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then I'm going to add a new domain, upper right-hand corner there. And then I'm going to choose the guy with the wagon on the right side because he already bought this from GoDaddy. So it's already done. It's already purchased. So we just need to add an existing domain. I'm going to get rid of the www part. This is the mistake that a lot of people make, is that they leave the www in there. You need to get rid of it. And then click this box that says it's registered on Cloudflare, and then add domain. Okay. And then we've already done the CNAME work, as you recall, so we've done this step. And then when you do it right, you have the little chipmunk and the miner guy that are just basically having a little party. That's when you know that you've done it right. And then the very last clone that you would have added would be down here. We want to associate it. We're going to associate funnel. It would be the last one you just added. And then that's done. However, we need to go back into the domain. So we're going to double click on the domain itself because we need to do the SSL stuff. See where it says SSL right here? We're going to go ahead and expand that out on the right-hand side and then add SSL. But this is a two-step process. This is the part that a lot of people mess up. They think that once they get the green banner up here, it's done. It's like, no, it's not done. You need to do another step, and that is check now. See where it says check now? And you need to keep clicking this check now button until it turns green. So you see there's a red banner there. We need to keep clicking this until it turns green. Sometimes it's 2 times, sometimes it's 5 times. Usually it's 3 times for me. But yeah, there you go, 3rd time, 3 times a charm. So then that way we can make sure that there's an SSL. They're not going to get any error messages stating that it's like some kind of weird fishy website. That's why we need to keep doing that, okay? So let's go over to his funnel. So see, we're going to go to funnels on the middle top. And then here's his last funnel that we loaded in. And you can see that the domain is here. So we've successfully added the domain. If we did not, then it would show a variation or his account name there. So that's done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to this part and we're going to edit page. This is where they could book a call, okay? Sorry, it's the next page. One more over. Book a call. And then what we need to do, this is very important. So what he's going to do is we're going to put his professional email address here. I'll do that in a second. The main thing is that you need to go into this custom Java box, because if you don't, then it's going to be booking in our system. We don't want that to happen. We want it to book in your system. So I have his Calendly account already open. He already has his his credit strategy session thing picked up, so already done, his little tile here. So we're going to go ahead and click view booking page, and we want to take everything before the question mark. So you see all of this stuff, this domain calendly.com / his business name. We need everything before the question mark. So we're going to go ahead and copy that. And then we're going to go back over and we're going to click on the Java box. We're going to open it in the right-hand corner. You see Open Code Editor. We're going to go ahead and click that. Now you see where it says https / calendly.com. We're going to go ahead and highlight everything between the quotes. We want to keep the quotes there. And we're going to go ahead and paste his information. So then that way his information shows up. And because offhand I don't know what his professional email address is, I'm going to go into his GoDaddy account. You're going to have your own professional email address. And I'm going to go ahead and find it. So here's his professional email address. So I'm going to go ahead and put his professional email address right here. Okay. And then that way, if people get to your book call page and they're finding that there's no times, you don't lose that lead. They will basically email you directly because they're that interested. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and save in the upper right-hand corner. And then in the Calendly, we want to make sure that our settings are correct and that we're only allowing people to book out 3 days, 45-minute calls with a 15-minute buffer on the back, 3 days. So you can see that they can only get 3 days, right? And then what we want to do is, let's see, email confirmation. All right, all that's been set up. This is all stuff that we help you set up anyway. I just want to make sure that all this is correct. Booking page, okay. So here's all the questions that we have for people that are going into this. And so basically what we want to do is now that we've set that up, what we want to do is do a You Are Booked page. And so what you're going to do is expand this page out. See this little box with this arrow? We're going to go ahead and pop it out. We're going to go ahead and grab this whole domain here. We're going to go into his Calendly. we're going to go ahead and redirect it. So copy paste it there. So then that way, after people book a call, what's going to happen is they're going to end up on this page and get the congratulations and the instructions and all of that. Okay. So we've already done that. And believe it or not, that's it. Here is his website that we just booked for him. Okay. Now you'll notice that there's nobody, we're not asking for a phone number here because it does scare people away. However, if you wanted to, you can do something like that. So let's go back into the funnel. We're going to go edit page, and we're going to add another box, and we'll do phone number. Phone number, and then we'll put optional. Okay? Then we'll do the same thing in the pop-up too. Let's see. Phone number. Optional, okay? I might want to change this. What I could do is get rid of this because it looks kind of awkward here. So what I'll do is I'll put all this up here. And the only reason I'm doing this is because, you know, I don't want it to look awkward and uneven if we do the phone number thing here. We didn't set this up. Phone number, okay. And here we go. And then that way, if you want to just add people's phone number, just in case you might get a few that'll actually offer the phone number. And then that's it. That's all you do to set up your funnel. And it's done. His funnel is completely done. And that's all you need to do, basically, is follow these steps that I just outlined here. It's actually pretty cut and dry. I mean, if you think about it, I did the funnel in what? A few minutes, and that was it? I mean, it's literally that easy. But the cool thing is we will actually help you do this funnel for you so that you don't actually have to do the funnel stuff yourself. So right now you might be thinking, okay, well, what exactly will I be selling? Since this is all cool, we are offering people the free credit book, and then once they get in, then they have a brief webinar that they watch to be able to ultimately book a call. So once they book a call, like, what do you do? Like, what are you selling? That's probably what you're asking. Well, your minimum price point on what you're selling is going to be focused mostly on entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors, where they're looking for money, capital for their businesses, right? So at this price point, you could charge about $10,000 to basically help them set up their entire business, their entire, I should say, unsecured credit business portion of this opportunity. And so essentially what you're going to be doing is helping them get a shelf corporation to then be able to tap into anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 or more in unsecured credit. And that's what you're going to be offering as the service. And so a lot of people are not going to take this, but there's going to be some people that will take it to where they're going to want you to help them. And essentially what you're going to be doing is getting them a shelf corporation. These shelf corporations usually cost a few $1,000s. And so you'll be able to help them get this to help them set up their business, their shelf business, to be able to qualify for these larger dollar amounts, okay? And so you also want to be able to make sure that you can get them to a 680 mid FICO. So this is going to be kind of a thing where you have to assess where they're at, okay? So this is not a one-size-fits-all deal. Like, some people you're going to charge more than $10,000 because it's going to require that you to get them up to that mid FICO 680. Ideally, you want them at 720 or 750. You have to charge them more money to get them up to there, especially if they want to get a minimum of $150,000. And then, of course, helping them get the funding within 2 weeks after you're able to get them stable personal credit. So you're not going to be able to guarantee the 2 weeks if they have sucky personal credit. However, if they have decent FICO score, like say they do have a 720 or 750 or higher, then you would be able to get a shelf corporation fairly quickly, and that shelf corporation would then be able to offer them the $150,000, $250,000 in unsecured credit within about 2 to 4 weeks. And so the key is that they have to come in with some decent credit. So they're essentially buying for $10,000 your package of secret resources and then a shelf corporation if they don't already have a corporation that's at least 2 years or older, okay? So that's essentially what they're going to be purchasing from you. And then, of course, if they're like, oh, 10,000 is too much, or if you're going to have to charge them more because maybe their FICO score sucks, and so you might have to charge them 12 to 15 to help them fix their credit and then be able to get them unsecured business credit. And so it might be 15,000, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to pay that. So then what you can end up doing is do what we call a downsell. I would not go as low as $1,000. I would keep it at $2,000 for the downsell. And then this is essentially they figure it out themselves. You basically get a link from us. You don't even have to pay us for the link because it's part of your agreement that you're going to have your licensing agreement with us. And you won't even have to pay for that link, and you can literally sell the link for any kind of money that you want. You can sell it for $3,000 if you want. I wouldn't go below $1,000. And I don't even know that I would sell it at $1,000, because if you're getting them on the phone and doing all that stuff, I would stick to the $2,000 price point, bare minimum, maybe even $2,500, that you can then have them go into the system. It's a course we've already built called the Credit Stack Attack, and they basically go through the course components themselves, and they're able to do it themselves as far as set everything up on their own. That's essentially what you're selling. So at least 50% of your calls, they might say, I don't have the $10,000. And so here's the problem with a lot of people that are already online. Like a lot of these online marketing gurus, it's like literally a proposition of all or nothing, which is if the person doesn't have this kind of money, then there's no negotiation, there's no bending, there's no downsell, there's no nothing. It's either the $10,000 or nothing, okay? And so I think that's why they leave a lot of money on the table, is because they don't have any downsell options. So this means that most of these online marketing gurus have nothing else to sell. There is no lower cost downsell option. And what's cool about this is that you're in a really good position because you do have a downsell that you could charge $1,000 to $2,000 for, maybe $2,500 for. And so when you do come across people, which is going to be, more and more as the economy becomes more tight, who don't have the $10,000, then you'll be able to downsell them to a $2,000 to $2,500 thing. So here's a secret strategy. If you're noticing that in the beginning you're not able to basically get $10,000 from people, and you're noticing that everybody's just scoffing at that, then actually increase your prices. Now I know that might seem counterintuitive, but just hear me out. So when you increase your price from the $10,000 that nobody's paying anyway to say $20,000, the intent is that you want to scare people into the downsell, okay? So basically, say, for example, you say, well, it's $20,000. This means that we're going to get you a 2-year shelf corporation. We're going to be able to get you an active corporation that's ready to go out of the box to get you $250,000 in unsecured credit. No, like, I don't want to pay that. Okay, well, then here's your option. You can do it yourself. We'll show you everything you need to know, and it's $2,500 or it's $2,000. And then so their mind is going from $20,000, which was just like massively large and just insurmountable for them, to $2,500. Oh, I could do that, or I want to do that. You know what I mean? So it might seem counterintuitive to increase your prices, but it's actually probably one of the best things that you'll ever do. Okay, so here's what you're looking for as far as leads versus to sales, okay? You want to be able to spend at least $25 a day on YouTube. If you're unable to do that, then this is probably not the business for you. So if you get, for example, 5 leads, it would be $5 a lead if you're able to get 5 leads. These are what we call opt-ins. So they're basically people that just opted in. They didn't actually book a call. So out of the 5 leads, you'll generally have about 1 person to book a call. 5 calls per week, 20 calls per month, 25% will flake across the board, 15 active calls. 1 minimum will actually purchase the higher ticket. Believe it or not, you will have some in there that will pay the $20,000. Like if you jack it up to 20 right off the bat, you don't even have a $10,000 option. It's either 20,000 or 2,000, and that's it. That's all I got. Then believe it or not, you will have some people that will take you up on the $20,000. And then if you're one of these people that's like, oh my God, Monica, I don't even know what I'm selling. Like you said something about like shelf corporations, then email me and I will walk you through exactly what you need to do. So don't think in terms of, oh, I don't know what I'm going to sell, so I'm just going to throw the sale, or I'm not going to take this dude's $20,000. It's like, no, take the $20,000, then call my office or email me, and I will walk you through what you're selling this, what you're doing for this person. Okay, so don't even think in terms of, what am I doing, Monica? I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pull this off. Don't think about that, because then you're going to psych yourself out of the business before you start. Instead, focus on the $20,000 sale, knowing most of them are not going to take it, but you're going to have somebody that will. And that will just be so exciting for you, because you'll be like, oh my goodness, I only have to do this once a month, and this is pretty freaking amazing. Now, 75% will take the lower ticket, which is your $2,000 option, $2,500, whatever it is that you're choosing to sell. So then if you're doing it this way, your ad spend is going to be about $70-50 a month. One will buy the $10,000, maybe say none of them buy the $10,000. So what? Say all 12 buy the $1,000, which I think you should be at $2,000, by the way. But your gross total would be $21,000, say. Net total $21,250. Now, even if I'm half correct, even if I have completely screwed up the numbers on this, you're looking at about $10,000 a month net profits, with a 25 a day ad spend. I mean, even if you had to bump it up to $35 or $40 a day to be able to get these numbers, so what? It's still worth it, and you'll still be in the money. So let me tell you a little secret about online marketing that a lot of people miss the mark on. And that is, they spend $25 to $50 on ad spend. They'll even spend maybe upwards of $200. I'm like, I didn't make any money. Okay, but sometimes you got to spend $1,000 to get the $10,000. Sometimes you got to spend, $1,000 to get the $2,000 sale. It's still worth it, because how many of you would love to be able to give somebody a $100 bill and immediately they give you a $200 in exchange for that? And I would say, yeah, all of you, right? Like every single one of you would love to just have, okay, here's my $100 and where's my $200? Here's my $100 and where's my $200? Here's my $100 and here's my, everybody would probably want to do that, right? Unless there's something wrong up here, okay? So that's essentially what you'll be able to do with your online marketing if your ad spend is really high, and it might cost you $1,000 to make a $2,000 sale. So what? And this is why I strongly urge you against selling the $1,000 thing and only selling bare minimum $2,000 credit stack attack courses, and not the $1,000, because it's going to make it harder for your numbers to work, and you're putting in the same effort. So why not just sell it for $2,000 instead of $1,000? Yes, you could do payment plans if they really want it and they can't do the $2,000. You could do payment plans, but I recommend that you stay with the $2,000. Stick to your guns on that. So say you double the ad spend, $50 a day, 10 leads, one book call, 10 calls per week, 40 calls per month, 25% will flake, 30 active calls, 2 minimum might purchase the higher ticket, 75% lower ticket. So your ad spend's $1,500, 2 will buy the at least $10,000, or maybe 1 at the $20,000. 22 will buy the minimum $1,000. Remember what I told you, though, we want to be at $2,000. Gross total $42,000, net total $40,000. And again, even if I'm half correct and if I have my head up my ass and I'm just telling you something that's a complete fallacy, you'll still be able to put about $20,000 a month in your pocket. And even if that's a $100 a day budget and not $50 a day, you'd still be way ahead of the game making money. So what if you charge $2,000 instead of $1,000, which is what I've been telling you about this whole time, to focus on the $2,000 instead of the $1,000? Well, your ad spend will still be $1,500 a month. 2 might buy the $10,000, or 1 would at least buy the $20,000. 22 will buy the minimum $2,000 investment. Gross total $64,000. Net total $62,000. Even if I'm half correct, $30,000. Even if I totally blew it on the ad spend and your ad spend's really double, you're still in the money. Say you're at $100 a day ad spend, or eventually $200. And by the way, you don't start off at $100 a day ad spend. You don't start off at $1,000 a day ad spend. You work your way up to it based on the traction you're getting, based on the profits you're getting, and then you amp and ramp up to that. You don't start overnight just with a $1,000 ad budget a day. That's not how it works. You start off really small, you see how it works. But the whole thing is, this is a numbers game. It's a traction thing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I recommend that you watch the movie. I don't remember the name of the movie. Something about Marge Goes Large or something. And it's Bryan Cranston, he's the Breaking Bad guy. Bryan Cranston, and I'm trying to remember the actress's name. And she, Warren Beatty's wife, can't remember her name right now. Anyway, so they're both in this movie, and it is basically this math genius guy who was just retired out from his factory job at, I don't know if it was a cereal factory or something in the Midwest. And this is based on a true story. And he's a math genius, and he basically found a flaw in the lottery system to where you'd be able to beat the system based on the amount of tickets that you purchase. And so at the very beginning of this, he tries it, he fails and then he realizes why he was off. And this really hit me when it comes to online marketing. Why he was off was that he didn't invest enough. Like his first set of tickets, I think he spent like $1,000 or $2,000 worth of tickets. And he's like, oh, I guess my strategy doesn't work. I guess my mathematics doesn't work. But then he thought about it. He's like, wait a minute, it works, but I didn't have the volume. I needed the volume to be able to determine that, Annette Bening, that's right. I'm sorry. So, okay, Annette Bening was the actress. That's right. Okay, so I had to say that part. But yeah, so it's the numbers. It's the numbers game. So this is a numbers game business. So if you're not investing enough in ad spend, you're not going to be able to make the money, because if you're thinking you're going to be getting rich off of a $50 ad, think again, because it's based on volume, and it's based on people seeing your ad over and over again, and it's based on them clicking on it and then going through it, and then the follow-up email sequence to where maybe they clicked on your ad, maybe they didn't have time to watch the video all the way, maybe they had something to do, or maybe they lost a connection on their phone when they clicked on the ad, and then when they got home on their laptop, they watched the rest of it a couple days later. So, you have to understand how this business works. It's a numbers game business. And so that part in that movie was kind of a defining part for me when it comes to online marketing, where I'm like, okay, so the reason some of my marketing campaigns probably didn't work is because I didn't put enough money into them, and I didn't get enough like traction. I didn't get enough data. I didn't get enough clicks to see, what the volume would be and what the percentages would be overall. And so I learned a really good lesson just from that movie. Fantastic movie, by the way. So what if you charge $15,000 instead of $10,000? So this is basically where you would be. And again, if I'm half correct, if I'm half correct, you're still ahead. So you're probably thinking, okay, Monica, well, I don't have a group to sell for $1,000 to $2,000. And yes, you do, because I will be giving you a license for my group that's already done. It's an excellent group. It's called the Credit Stack Attack, that you'll be able to sell as your own. Plus, I'll be able to give you all my banks and lenders that you can use in your own package when you sell at the higher price points, especially if you're selling at a $10,000 to $20,000 high ticket price points. And even better, I have YouTube videos that you can use to be able to facilitate the online to online marketing strategy, which is your YouTube video, and then they will go over to your opt-in page, and all of those videos are done, and I spent a fortune on those, and you can have those as well. And there's one more thing. So the clients that you have that have 600 FICO scores, or even in the low 700s, you could sell them a credit repair service to fix their personal credit. So even though this is mostly geared for corporate business credit, they still need to have a decent mid-FICO score to be able to qualify for the kinds of credit stack activity that they want to do. So, for example, if a client wants $250,000 or more in unsecured credit, in addition to selling him one of the packages, you can also sell them a credit repair package of, like, say, $299 a month minimum, since these are business owners and they will pay more. So if you don't want to do credit repair, then there's not a problem at all, because here are your options. You can use a credit repair online software that pretty much does all the work for you, and the cost for you will only be $129 a month, depending on which service you use, but you can have up to like 300 clients at that $129 a month level. So you could literally have 300 people under there for only $129 a month, and these people you're charging $299 a month for, right? Or option B, you can hire an online professional like a virtual assistant, And they can do this on a case-by-case basis, and they'll usually charge you between $30 and $50 per file per month, leaving you with $249 a month and a $269 profit per month. Or I'm sorry, $249 to $269 profit per month, depending on how much they're actually charging you to do these files for you. So you literally hire somebody to do this for you. So let's look at what the continuity would look like with the $299 a month. So with the same ad spend and all this good stuff, you'd plus still now have about 30% that will take the $299 a month offer. So say 7 clients from this campaign. So you're now adding a compounding $2,000 a month to your bottom line, a little more than $2,000 a month. That's pretty fascinating. And what's amazing about this is that, like I said, if there are certain months of the year that you don't want to work, say you don't want to work from like the second part of November through like say the second part of January, so you want to take 2 months off in the holidays, you can. You can do this with this business because you have the continuity. Or say you want to take all the summer off. Say you want to take like say 2.5 to 3 months off in the summer. You can with this kind of business. As long as you have continuity, you can take time off, okay? So your very conservative continuity income, say your credit repair continuity income is like, say, for example, 30% close rate. So you're getting them at $299 a month because they are entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners. This is the type of money that you're looking at for your continuity. It's compounding, remember, so your first month you might have 7 clients, your second month 14, your third month 21, etc. And these figures can drastically increase when you learn how to sell better by closing more sales. You have what I call my installed sales reps. These are highly trained, qualified sales reps that I can give to you to help you do your outbound calls for people who've opted in, provided that you actually got their phone number, but they didn't book a call. You want to make sure that you lock your clients into a contract. Make them obligated for the credit repair service for 6 to 12 months, depending on the shape of their current credit. So, for example, if they just need to fix their credit, they need like 30 to 50 FICO points, you could do 6 months. Maybe their credit's a disaster and they have like, they need another like 100 to 200 credit points. Then you're going to need to do a 12-month contract, okay? So then you can increase your credit repair service from $299 to $399 or even $499 per month because, again, you're working with business owners and not your broke paycheck Charlies of the world, okay? So let's talk about traffic and how it works, since there seems to be a lot of confusion about how to get sales in today's internet age. So a lot of my internet students, they think all they need to do is put out $5 a day on YouTube or Facebook and they're going to become a millionaire in 30 days or less. And that's not how it works. All of marketing is a numbers game. So the more clicks you get, the more sales you get, and it's that simple. So if you're paying only $5 a day, it'll take a lot of days, perhaps weeks, to get your first sale because it's going to take a long time just to book your first call. And by then you're going to get kind of soured on the whole business idea. You're going to be like, oh, it takes like 3 weeks just to book a call. This sucks, right? And you're going to want to drop out of the business even before you've been able to find success in this business, because the success is tested and proven. This is a business that definitely works. So you probably should not do this business unless you're willing to put at least $25 a day in for ads. So if you're not willing or able to do that, then this is not the business for you. So you're probably thinking, okay, I really like this business idea. I like the continuity. I like, helping people with credit situations. I like working with entrepreneurs. Like how do I do this? Well, I can tell you exactly how to do this. So who's in so far? Yeah? Are you in? If you're in, let me know, because I want to share with you exactly how to do that. Is it okay that I share with you exactly how to become part of this highly profitable credit opportunity? Especially since the economy is not getting any better. I believe, like I said, a year from now, things are going to be drastically different. And the reason being is because I think things are being glued and held together by Band-Aids in our economy right now. People are in a credit crisis. It's not the same as 2008 because banks have become so strict with lending requirements. However, people are in deeper debt than they've ever been in history. And so credit is going to become a central key point for most people if they're going to survive and thrive as we move into the future. And you're probably thinking, well, oh, those deadbeats, people got into trouble credit-wise. That may be true, but credit is basically how people make it and thrive in today's day and age. Like, you can't buy a piece of real estate without credit unless you have a bunch of cash. You can't buy an apartment building without credit unless you have a bunch of cash. You can't start a business and really be able to gain traction with that business unless you have a bunch of cash. So not everybody that needs credit is a deadbeat, okay? Let's be real. You need credit, really good unsecured business credit, to be able to gain the kind of leverage that you need to build wealth in today's day and age. It's not 100 years ago or 200 years ago when credit wasn't a thing. Now you have the leverage of credit, and you can help other entrepreneurs become more, I guess you could say, successful in being able to use this credit leverage to be able to maximize their profits, I should say. So even better, you can run this entire business for about $300 a month, all right? And this includes your website, your credit software, your phone service, because you don't need an office, you don't need any employees, you don't need any inventory, no products to create, no techie experience, no hassles, no headaches whatsoever. So it's probably one of the cheapest, low budget, yet most highly profitable businesses that you can operate, period. In fact, it's probably one of the best businesses out there ever, hands down, okay? So because of the way the economy is right now and how small business owners are still trying to get it together since the start of the pandemic many years ago, this is the ultimate business to start, market, and run with, because it's the cheapest, fastest, and most profitable online business that literally anybody can do. I just showed you in a very brief demo just how easy it is to put together your website. I provide all the clones, the videos, the YouTube video ads, all of it, even the course that you can sell to people when you downsell that course option. You get it all. And can you imagine how long it would take you to be able to come up with all this stuff? It would take most of you probably at least maybe 4 months. And that's if you kind of were focused and knew what you were doing in the online marketing space. Most of you have no idea what to do in the online marketing space, which is why most of you would be lost in space to the point where you wouldn't even know what to do or how to even start. So all the stuff has been done for you. Literally anybody can do this business, okay? And best of all, you'll be helping people because you'll be serving people in a way that's probably never been done before, you've never done before, and helping business owners get the funding that they need to grow rich, while in turn helping them support the economy. Small business owners account for about 50% of the workforce. And so if you're helping these small business owners create successful businesses, buy and expand businesses, because you're allowing them to tap into unsecured credit, then you're actually helping people along the way. So you're probably thinking, well, Monica, this sounds great, but how do I get sales? Like, what's the part about how do I actually get people to pay me to do stuff? So first, you need to set up your own credit business, which I'm going to show you how to do. I'm actually going to do it for you. And this includes knowing which banks and lenders to use to help your clients get unsecured credit at the highest dollar amounts possible for their business. And also, you're going to need a credit group, like a do-it-yourself group, at that $1,000 to $2,000 level, ideally $2,500 level. And I will give you mine that you can sell as your own. And then, of course, you need a basic website funnel, which I could also provide for you. You're going to need YouTube video ads, which I'm also going to help you set up. You're also going to need lots of traffic to drive traffic to your funnel using that YouTube video ad, which I'll also help you do as well. And that's about it. Of course, you're probably thinking, well, Monica, what about the sales rep? Hello, I'm not a salesperson. I can't sell anything to anybody. Well, that's the cool thing about this, is that I can also install a highly qualified, trained in the Monica Main way of sales, a highly trained sales rep into your business for you. So you don't even have to do the sales at all either. So yes, you heard me right. I will give you literally everything that you need, including a sales rep to be able to do these sales for you. And I will set it all up for you as well. So this is not a typical Monica Main mentorship group training series. Like you're probably thinking, oh, this is probably just another training. Because as you know, most of my trainings are 6 to 8 weeks long. You're mostly have to do the work yourself. And then many of my groups these days don't offer one-on-one setup anymore. These are mostly geared toward my 100K in 100 days, my former mentorship groups that have been with me for a long time, who kind of know how to build their own online business. But this is different, because I will actually set this entire business up for you from scratch. Like all the elements that you need, I set up for you. So you don't have to be watching all these endless amounts of trainings. Yes, there will be a couple of trainings for you to watch to be able to help you set up your business. But for the most part, what you're getting is you're getting a business that I'm giving to you. It's like, okay, Monica just set this up for you. Here's your business. And then I'm going to be doing a crash course training to show you how to do the business, okay? So this is not a mentorship group. This is a business. You're getting an actual business. So yes, there'll be a few trainings for you to take part in, because you want to understand how the online marketing game works to be able to get maximum profits in minimum time. And also, I want to make sure that you're actually doing the business correctly. I want to make sure that you're actually giving people at that $10,000 to $20,000 level exactly what it is that they need and that they're paying for. So I'm going to be showing you all of that stuff and trainings leading up to then my virtual workshop that I'm going to be doing this coming fall, where we're going to be doing a crash course on the latest and greatest in the internet pay-per-click marketing world. So we're going to be really focusing in on that. So by then you'll already know what you're selling. You're probably already doing the business. And then you'll finally, as icing or the cherry on top, going to be given the latest and greatest when it comes to the most profitable online marketing strategies. And so I'm going to be doing that this fall. So this is a complete business in a box that's set up for you. And of course, you'll also learn how to run the most profitable ads, and you'll also be able to get a sales rep installed in your business for you. And we're also going to be doing some other live trainings as well to help you really fully understand exactly what kind of business you're selling. So at the $10,000 to $20,000 level, it's really critical that you understand what you're selling to people and how to set that up, how to actually get what I call a shelf corporation set up, like what to do. So we'll be talking about that in the upcoming trainings before the fall, which is going to be mostly geared toward all of the online marketing strategies. And so I only want to work with a handful of people, about 6 people, maximum 12, but about 6. And basically, overall, this business schematic will be presented to you in a very small group. This group is going to start next week. I will also schedule a two-hour one-on-one blocks with each and every one of you to get everything set up in your own system that I'm going to be setting up for you. And you'll be attending my virtual workshop in September, which is going to be all about a very deep dive on online marketing strategies. And that's, of course, between now and that workshop, you'll be not only having your fully fledged, already operating and functioning, highly successful credit business, but you'll also be given additional trainings to understand exactly what you're going to be offering to people and how to set up shelf corporations for people at the $10,000 to $20,000 price point. Okay, so it's mostly going to be me giving you the business and then doing some trainings on how you're going to fulfill for people in the business. All right, and then finally in the fall, going into deep detail about how to expand your online marketing strategies. Okay, so we're also going to go into a deep dive on sales calls, including giving you a trained phone sales reps who can close the calls for you. All right, so if you're still with me, I'm going to share with you how you can become part of what I consider quite possibly the most profitable, easy to do business on the planet. So who's with me so far? You guys with me? All right, let's keep going. Let's keep plugging away. So you only have 7 key steps to massive success in this, and that is to set up a tested and proven funnel clone. I'm going to set that up for you. Set up your online course. It's already done for you. Run YouTube video ads that I'll also give to you. Use my profitable direct mail marketing strategy. I will also provide that to you. Book calls through my multi-million-dollar proprietary sales script that I also give to you. Put a qualified sales rep in place to do phone calls for you, including warm leads, booking more calls, also taking your calls that are booked. Set up with my simple super system, which includes a series of automatic email drips that will go out to the prospects that have or have not purchased. And I will give you these emails and help you set them up, because I will actually set it up in your business in a box. Set up your credit repair part of the business with a specialty credit repair software, which is AI based. All of that stuff is going to be done for you with this business that I'm actually creating for you. So again, this is not a mentorship group. You are not doing this yourself. I'm not going to expect you to follow like instructions and figure out how to do it yourself. I'm doing it for you. And then once it's done, I'm going to be giving it to you, and then I'm going to be working with you in very small groups on exactly how to get your advertising rolling, how to set up your ads, what to do when somebody does buy a $10,000 to $20,000 package. Like, what are you offering? How do you set up a shelf corporation for somebody? Like, how do you earn that $20,000 that somebody just gave to you? So we're going to be doing all of that. And then in the fall, we're going to be doing a crash course on the latest and greatest, which there's going to be some new stuff that hasn't even happened yet that I'm going to be talking about in the fall when it comes to online marketing. So we're going to be covering that as icing on the cake to expand your business. So think about how profitable or powerful this is. I'm going to be giving you a funnel and showing you how to put it together in a small power pack training by basically giving you the funnel that I already done and basically showing you how to advertise that funnel. I'm going to be giving you a funnel to suck highly qualified business prospects in, including all the sales videos for YouTube. I'm also giving you the free bait book called Credit Millionaire by Bill Harris. I'm also giving you a book call video for page 2 of your funnel. I'm giving you the Google ads to run for your search ads. I'm giving you email follow-up series. I'm also giving you a test and improvement postcard, as well as a direct mail marketing piece. I'm also giving you the multi-million-dollar phone sales script to sell that higher package. And of course, installing a sales rep into your business, which is probably the most powerful part of this, because these people are already qualified, trained sales reps to close these sales for you. I've never offered all of this at this basement bottom pricing deal. I've never actually offered a business where I'm creating it for you and then giving it to you. All of my mentorship groups are basically, here, I'm going to show you how to do it, and then off you go. It's like, no, I'm basically going to be side by side with you through the whole way until you're successful with this business. And so I need to make you an offer you can't refuse. And this is me. This is like the most unflattering picture ever. My dad took this of me walking out of the Barbatelli in Sicily when we were doing the Godfather tour. And this is actually where they shot the movie. I think it was in the 70s when they shot that movie. And so it's a pretty cool place. It's a huge tourist attraction where literally nobody speaks any English there. It's kind of crazy. It's like that off the beaten path. But it's a cool place, and I'm going to be giving you the offer you can't refuse because I am now the Godfather, okay? So this is not going to be $10,000, even though it would be well worth it if it was. But basically, it's going to be one payment of $2,997 or 4 payments of $799 each. And again, I will be building out the entire business for you. This is not a mentorship group. Do not confuse this with a mentorship group, okay? This is not a mentorship group. This is a business I'm building for you. And then I'm going to give it to you and then show you how to operate the business. That's essentially what you're going to be getting, okay? And so you can jump on this opportunity right now at bizcreditsecret.com. That's bizcreditsecret.com, and get on this right now. This is starting next week, which we're going to start the basement bottom groundwork next week. And then we're going to be starting to book the one-on-ones in a couple weeks, where I'm going to be building your business for you, right when you watch me build your business for you. And then I'm going to be walking you through it, doing a private one-on-one consulting session with you. And then when everybody's businesses are built, then we're going to go into the training on how to do the shelf corporations and all of that good stuff. And then finally, we're going to be doing the training in the fall, talking about exactly how to take advantage of the most cutting edge, highly profitable, best bang for your buck online marketing strategies there are, okay? So my rock solid ironclad money back guarantee, and that is, if you go through this entire process and you put in at least $2,500 in marketing ads, offline or online, and you don't make your money back, I will buy your license back from you. So notice it doesn't say buy this and then change your mind 3 days from now, or buy this and then decide that you don't want to do this next month. It doesn't say that. This is a conditional money back guarantee. It basically forces you to do this because I'm so convinced that you're going to do really well with this, that I know that once you put the $2,500 in marketing ads, you're going to see this entire business completely take off, and you're not going to want your money back. And I know that for a fact, and that's why I'm kind of forcing you to do the business, right? So this is a special bonus for full pay licensees. You'll be getting all this stuff. You'll be getting an extra hour with me, one-on-one, to help you set up your Google ads, which is your YouTube video ads. You'll also, if you want, to come out to Panama City Beach, where I am located now, and if you want to come out and actually be on site for this seminar event that I'm going to be doing in my office, you can actually come and then meet me one day before the workshop event ends. I'll be giving you the dates soon. And you can actually get a one-on-one with me in my office for a few hours if you like. And so there's probably going to be a handful of you that's going to come out for that. And so you're invited to literally come out to be part of the event that's going to be virtual for everybody else. And you will be able to participate in that and actually come out and see me. It's a 2-day event. You will be coming out with me for an extra day, so it'll be a 3-day event for you. And then we'll be able to help you one-on-one with your business. You'll also get my cell phone number where you can call or text me anytime you need help. And this is only going to be, of course, available to you for the first 6 months in this business. I never give anybody my cell phone number unless, of course, you are an apprenticeship group student. Those are the only people that actually get my cell phone number. And then you'll have access to one particular bank that can get you unsecured credit to business owners of up to $150,000 with no documents. And this is going to be a very powerful selling point for your prospects when you are actually selling your $10,000 to $20,000 offer. And so this is an exclusive opportunity for you to be able to gain access to this one particular bank that nobody really has any access to. So you'll be able to offer that as one of your selling points. And I'm also going to go obviously over the shelf corporation, all that other good stuff, if the business owners need it. Now, some of these business owners don't need a shelf corporation, because if they already have a functioning business that's 2 years or older, meaning that they've filed at least 2 federal tax returns for their business, then you don't have to get them a shelf corporation. That's only for people that have a brand spanking new business and they want to gain access to all this business credit. Otherwise, you are selling a package of being able to get them all of this unsecured funding that they need to be able to grow, expand, or buy a business. And that's what you're selling at the $10,000 to $20,000 level. And this is one of the most powerful banks that can get them this money with no documents whatsoever. Okay, pretty powerful stuff. I'm also giving you one more incredible full pay business, and that is a lifetime membership to my brand new Viper Wealth access of all my prior real estate courses, my recent events that I've done, and my new upcoming events for free. So yes, I have some upcoming mentorship groups that is, if you know me, you know that most of these mentorship groups do cost about $2,000 to $3,000 a piece. And once you get a lifetime membership to the Viper Wealth system, you won't ever have to pay for another mentorship group ever again for the rest of your life. Like, how powerful is that going to be? And you know that there's going to be a lot that you're going to want, and you won't be able to, you won't have to pay for any real estate or credit-based courses or any of the 100K in 100 days or any of the internet marketing groups ever again. They will all be included in your Viper Wealth. So that's pretty powerful. I think that's worth, in and of itself, at least $10,000 just right there alone. Just because if you decide to do, say, another 5 Monica Main groups in the next, say, 5 years, each one's going to cost you $2,000. You won't have to pay for any of those. You'll be included in all of those automatically because you'll be a lifetime member of the Viper Wealth All Access. You'll literally have an all access pass to Viper Wealth forever. So the ball's now in your court. Right now, you have only one of 2 choices: do nothing. Now, mind you, doing nothing is not an option, because let me tell you how detrimental things are becoming in the economy. All right, things are getting really bad really quick. And that is because people are in up to their eyeballs in debt right now. They have no way of getting out. There's going to be a lot of bankruptcies, a lot of foreclosures coming up because people are behind. They're not able to sustain themselves in this age of hyperinflation. A lot of people are taking second jobs or second side hustles. Pretty soon they're going to have to take third jobs just to be able to tread water and make it. And then if you're in the position where you're now having to take a second or third job, how are you ever going to have time to be able to build a business? You're not. You might have this small window of opportunity right now where you do have a little bit of time. Maybe you still have an afternoon on Saturday to build a business, or maybe you have like 30 minutes a day to do a business because you don't have to work a second or third job. What do you think is going to happen with the ever-increasing food bills, utility bills, prescription medication bills, taxes? Like, all of it is going up and up and up, and nothing is coming down. And it's costing more and more money for people to be able to survive and thrive in today's day and age. And so if you have a little bit of time, even 30 minutes a day to be able to do this business, you have time now. But if you don't do anything, a year from now, you might have to start thinking about taking that second job. And then what's going to happen when you take that second job? You're not going to have any time to do the business, any business, because you're going to be too busy trying to tread water just to keep your head above water to survive. So doing nothing is really not an option anymore. So your second option is to pony up this small investment in yourself and in your future today, because it's not just about survival. It's about wanting to thrive. I mean, who wants to just barely make ends meet? Like, nobody. And the cool thing is, by being in the credit business, you're going to be in a business that's literally recession proof. If anything, it does better, if we're in an economic demise, than any other kind of business, because people are so frothing at the mouth for credit and needing cash and money during hard economic times. And this is going to be a business that's going to thrive for you the worse the economy gets, okay? Because there are some hard times ahead. And if you haven't started seeing them already, I've seen them. It's coming. I've noticed that there's certain banks that are starting to cut their losses. They're starting to quietly pare back on credit that they've issued to people. People that have open credit cards that they're not using, they're closing those accounts. They're trying to mitigate their loss because they see what the balance sheet is starting to look like right now. Things are not looking as great as they were a few years ago. And so they're starting to prepare for an economic collapse of some kind. It's just that they're quietly doing it behind the curtains, and they're not telling anybody or broadcasting it or advertising it. They're keeping it quiet because they know what's about to happen. And so I notice things like that, things that people don't notice. Like people talk about, lowest rates of unemployment in forever and the highest stock market in forever. I don't pay attention to things like that. I pay attention to other things, and I'm noticing that things are starting to crack at the seams in ways that people are just not noticing because they're too busy looking at the other shiny object in the corner or the Wizard of Oz telling them something, and they're not really paying attention to what's happening behind the scenes. And so I'm like little Toto, and I'm the one that just rips the curtain wide open, and I will share with you that things are not as great as you think. And so, again, one of the best businesses to be in is anything having to do with credit and money, because people are going to be struggling and they really want to access as much of that money as they possibly can. So during hard times, there are literally fortunes made during these economic downturns, because if you're in what we call the wealth tools business, you'll always be in a sustainable business. You'll be in a recession-proof business, and getting people credit and unsecured credit, especially business owners and entrepreneurs, that is a wealth tools business. It's a wealth building business, and it is literally recession-proof, and it can make you millions, okay? So you can cash in regardless of what's happening in the economy if you position yourself correctly with the right business, just like this credit business. So here's what you're going to be getting. I'm only going to be selling up to 12. I'd like to keep it at 6, but maximum 12 people. So I'm likely going to only keep it at 6, but if there's a few more that want to get in, great. The only reason I would sell over 6 is because some of you might drop out. And so I want to make sure that I can get all my 6 people in. I can't give it to more than 12 people. So as I mentioned before, it's going to be between 6 and 12 people, 12 people max. And you'll be able to get the overall business schematic. The business will actually start to work and start happening next week. We're going to be starting to showcase the business. I will schedule you one-on-one call blocks for each one of you to be able to set up your business. You'll be able to attend my virtual workshop. And then if you're a full pay, you'll be able to actually physically show up to the 2-day workshop and then get a 1-day special with me prior to the workshop starting so that I can do some one-on-one time with you. And then, of course, during the workshop, we're going to be going into a deep dive onto the latest and greatest with online internet marketing strategies. And then I'm also going to be placing a qualified sales rep in your business to do your sales for you, okay? So all of this today, one payment of $2,997 or 4 payments of $799. Or here's another option for you. You could take the ultra budget version of this at $299 a month. Now at the $299 a month, it's a membership. So at a membership, this basically means that once you quit, you lose access to everything. So a membership is in my school platform for Viper Wealth, and you'll be able to access this particular business in a box, but you're not going to be able to keep it if you drop out or cancel at any time. So that's the thing about the budget version. You're also going to be expected to build out your business on your own. I'm not going to be able to give you the business in a box, but you'll be able to see everything that I'm doing. You'll be able to access the trainings. You'll be able to access the virtual September event. You'll be able to access all of that stuff. So you want to get all on this, go to bizcreditsecret.com to be able to jump on this opportunity while you still can, because this is a limited time opportunity that starts next week. Once it starts, that's it. You'll be locked out. You won't be able to partake in this opportunity anymore, okay? So this group officially kicks off next week. The workshop, the first of the several workshops will be next month. So the next month's workshop, I'm going to be focusing in on exactly what you're going to be offering people that pay $10,000 to $20,000. And then September will be the online marketing workshop. So the workshop next month is all going to be about how you're going to be giving people their service at the $10,000 to $20,000 level. And we're going to be talking about all the credit nuances. We're going to be talking about exactly how you're going to be able to offer them the unsecured credit at higher levels. You're going to also be learning exactly how to get them a shelf corporation if they don't already have a 2-year functioning corporation, okay? So if you need to talk to someone first, you can always call our office. We're available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time, excluding federal holidays. The number is 850-588-5500. You can always reach our customer care team there, and we can go over what it is that you don't understand about exactly what we've gone through, as far as everything that I've outlined for you in this powerful opportunity. So all of this, one payment of $2,997 or 4 monthly payments of $799 each, or the ultra budget, which is the $299 a month. But again, that's basically forever. And the very second you drop out of the $299 a month, guess what? You lose your license and you lose all of the access to the Viper Wealth, I guess you could say back office, members only area. So you don't want to do that. So bizcreditsecret.com, you want to jump on this opportunity while you still can. You're probably thinking, should I do this? Should I invest in myself? It's completely up to you. Do you want a side hustle business that works? Do you want something that's going to be high in demand and recession proof? Then if that's what you want, then this is the business for you. If it's not, then it's probably not your business, okay? So definitely want to take into consideration all the changes that are happening economically. You want to take into consideration that everything that you see right now in the economy is not true. Things are worse than you really think. And you really want to get ahead of the curve when it comes to not only starting the most highly profitable business, but also a business that's going to be high in demand. So this is definitely the business that you want to be in for sure, because credit is not going anywhere. In fact, if anything, it becomes more and more high in demand when the economy goes to hell in a handbasket, and you will already be ahead of the curve because you'll fully have set up your business before everything has really gone downhill, okay? All right, everybody, this is Monica Main signing off, and I will see you at the top.